Hey Canucks fans, there are two NHL stories that have been making their way around the league since I released my vlog this morning, both with Canucks connections, albeit one a little looser than the other, which I'll get to in a second. So I'm calling this video Kraken and Kassian. The first story, it's been rumored, it's been leaked, whatever word you want to use, but not confirmed, that the name of the new Seattle franchise that's going to come into play in September 2021 or October 2021 will be the Seattle Kraken. That's right, the Seattle Kraken, not the Sockeyes, not the Totem Poles, not anything else you thought it might be called. It sounds like it might be the Seattle Kraken. And it's a blogger, a very popular blogger named John Hoven, and he went on a radio show, satellite radio, NHL radio show, satellite radio, NHL show. How's that? And he writes for the popular Mayor's Manor blog in LA. And he's the one who said that Seattle has come up with their team name. And the Seattle Twitter account, the NHL Twitter account for the Seattle franchise, actually denied it. They came out and said, despite the rumors, nothing is confirmed. But what else are they going to say? They're not going to say, yeah, it is the Kraken, and we weren't the first to break the news. They're not going to say that. So if it is indeed the Kraken, which it sounds like it is going to be, obviously they want to release it properly on their terms, in their own way. But it indeed might be the Vancouver Canucks. Their closest geographical rival now is going to be the Seattle Kraken. And what's a Kraken, you ask? The famous line, "Release the Kraken," was from the Clash of the Titans movie. Zeus was the one who proclaimed, who uttered this, "Release the Kraken" line in the Clash of the Titans movie in 1981 and in the remake in 2010. And it's a big, ugly, fictional sea animal. It looks like an octopus, Scandinavian in nature, all these things that I looked up. So basically, it'll be the Vancouver Canucks, orca whale, versus the Seattle Kraken, a big, ugly, octopus-like mythical creature from the sea. So that could be our biggest rival in the next few years, the Canucks versus the Kraken. And it sounds like if this story is true, their main colors will be a red, a teal, and a black. So we'll be interested to see what that looks like. Can't really picture what that's going to look like, but I'm sure we'll find out pretty darn soon. So that's the first story. The franchise for Seattle could be named the Seattle Kraken. The other part of this vlog, the second news story, Zach Kassian, forward for the Edmonton Oilers. The whole league's eyes are on him tonight as he faces Matthew Tkachuk, as the Oilers and Flames face off in a very important battle, not just because Battle of Alberta, not just because of the ramifications and the fallout from what happened a couple weeks ago, but because they're both right behind the Canucks in the Pacific Division. Zach Kassian, a former Vancouver Canuck, he has signed a contract extension, 4 years, $3.2 million a year. So $12.8 million over the 4 years, 3.2 per year. I'm very happy for Kassian. That's a good contract for him. When he left Vancouver, it wasn't on the best terms. We heard rumors about his off-ice issues, and then he had a rough start. I think he went to Montreal next, but I'm glad to see that he's found a role in Edmonton. He's on a pace for a career high. He has already got 28 points in 44 games, and I think his career high is only 29 points. So 28 and 44. He's missed a few, couple by injury, couple by suspension, but he's going to shatter that 30-point mark for sure. So good for Kassian. 29 years old is likely going to be his biggest contract, his last big contract of his career. So like I said, 4 more years, $3.2 million a year. How this relates to the Canucks, not just because Kassian's a former Canuck, but we're talking about what's Jake Virtanen's new contract going to look like. Is he in line for a massive raise? And if so, by how much? People are talking about $3.5 million. And today's Kassian contract might be a good, it might be a good benchmark. And Virtanen's people might be really happy about this contract at 3.2. Because just like Kassian, Virtanen has a career high in points. He has 30 points in 50 games. So Kassian has 28 in 44. Virtanen's very similar, has 30 and 50. He's going to get maybe 40 to 45 to even 50 points this season, and he's an RFA looking for a new contract. So maybe the Canucks go bridge deal, 1 or 2 years, another show-me deal, and they give him a tiny bit more, or maybe they sign him a bit longer term, but he's a lot younger than Zach Kassian. He's got more years ahead of him, and he's already having a really, really good season. So it will be interesting to see what effect, if any, the Zach Kassian contract has on Jake Virtanen's negotiations going forward. There you go. Enjoy the game tonight. Canucks going for their 4th straight win, looking to expand their lead atop the Pacific Division, playing in San Jose. Brandon Sutter, Joe Thornton, maybe not as much bad blood as Matthew Tkachuk and Zach Kassian, but I'll still be interested to see what happens. Enjoy the game. God bless. Go Canucks, go.